Okay, I'm going to do a video. This time I'm using the onboard mic. Last one I used a regular mic on the cord. I kept getting a lot of bumpy, and I have like tremors on my hands. My hands aren't steady, and I kept getting bump, 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 bump all the way through the video. So I'm going to try to make a little cleaner one today. And this is my room, and I make videos for me personally. If somebody else watches them, enjoys them, that's good. If they don't, that's okay too. I make them kind of just for me. Stuff I do in my life and little projects that I do. I like doing the whole process. It's kind of fun to me. I'm just doing this on an Amazon tripod and a Moto G7 phone, and it comes out okay. So I'm going to talk about uh, I had a current life situation that was quite drastic. You know, I was married for like 30 years. My wife just got tired of me and dumped me, and we got a divorce. Bitch. Still, still trip over that a little bit. It's supposed to be death to you part. She just says she didn't want to be around me anymore. So anyway, I'm not gonna cry tears, but anyway, that's what happened to me. We got a divorce. So we had a house that we had paid for. We lived in a long time, so we sold it. We split the profit we made. And my daughter, who's always been really supportive of me and her boyfriend and my two grandkids, they were looking for a house too. So it kind of worked out pretty good. We sold the house and then we bought a new house that would accommodate all of us. I put the down payment down, which was a third. So it cost me about 70 grand. And that assured us the house. So I'm living with my granddaughter now, which the atmosphere is so much better than it was before. And I got my own bedroom out of the deal, and I got a guarantee that my portion of the house is pretty much taken care of already, so I don't have to worry about getting kicked to the curb when I get a little bit older. So that's what we end up doing. So this is my bedroom, and it's pretty small. I'm gonna go over here and do a little bit of moving around. It's There's my bed, there's my window. And if you look over here, I got a TCL Series 6 55-inch Roku operating system, 635 R35. I forgot the number on it, but it's a real good TV. It's one of the better ones. It cost me about $700 for that thing. Um, I've had like three TCLs, and I've had good luck with them. I like them. They have a good picture, and they're reasonably priced. So I kind of stuck with them. If something works well for me, I tend to stick with it. So I got my TV. And I'm gonna go do my flashlight collection real quick. There's my flashlight collection. I'm kind of a flashlight buff. Get a little bit closer. I got a lot of 18650 batteries, um, a lot of 145, 140, 14500 hot rods. I've got a few flashlights to take those and put out a powerful ass beam. All these flashlights right here will just drop you in your tracks. They're so goddamn bright. But anyway, that's my little flashlight deal. The reason I mention that is if you go back down there, you'll see my two chargers down there. So that's what those are for, charge all my batteries. Okay, what I did was I upgraded this system to a 2.1. I had a Z906 5.1 blaster, and it was just a little too much for this room. I didn't have the electricity to put stuff behind me. So I downgraded to a 2.1. So I got this Logitech 625. It's got the two speakers right there. And it's got the sub right down there, you can see. Puts out beautiful sound. I'm perfectly happy with it, man. I might even play a tune if I'm going to take a chance here on YouTube's policy. I think I got a song in here that it's not copyrighted, but you don't pick up music very well when you're recording through a camera mic. Let me try to straighten this out a little bit more right here, like that. Okay. So anyway, I'll start with the monitor on changes that I made. I bought that TV and then the monitor. I had an Asus 27-inch 1080p. Served me well. I had it for quite a few years. And I always wanted to upgrade. I always wanted to upgrade to a 2560 by a 144.4, 144 refresh rate with G-Sync. And I never could afford it. Well, I had a little extra money on my house sale, so I said, shit, well, I got the money, I might as well get it. So I bought it. It cost me $500. But I'll tell you, it was worth every penny of it because this monitor is a 27-inch too. It's an Acer Predator. I forgot the model number. But anyway, this monitor just kicks some serious ass. Plays the game with beautiful, vivid colors, smoothness, just, higher resolution, G-Sync. The days of tearing and lag are gone. And I used to have that problem with some of my games. As a matter of fact, if you look right here while I'm talking, you can see all my games. That's all of them. I had more than that I got rid of in the past that I wish I wouldn't have because I was kind of needing space. I've since solved those problems. I don't need the space anymore, so I wish I had those games back. But a lot of these games I don't play every day, or some of them I don't play for a while, but they're good enough where if I play a game and I like it and I know I can play it over and over again, I'll keep it. Doesn't matter how old it is. So there's some new games in there and there's some old games in there. And they're all fun to me to play. I got some Steam. You'll see the Steam logo. I got a few games on Steam also in addition to those. And those are the games that I like to play. I'm a single player guy. I don't get into the multiplayer. I can't compete, man. I'm too old. I can't compete with the kids, man. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy popping my head around a corner and getting my head blown off by some 16-year-old that's got way better reflexes than me. So I don't do it. I just don't have any fun. I don't have any fun doing that. I like a story. I like a single player, where I can go at my own speed. I can set the difficulty the way I want it, and I can use trainers. And I'll admit it. I use trainers, and sometimes I just want to have fun. So I just want to go in there and kick some ass. So I play a single player and just love it. And these are the games that I still play and just have a lot of fun. If you look at, I'll put my, let's see. I'll put my programs. There's my programs. That's pretty much every program I have on my computer. You see, I don't have a lot of shit on it. I'm pretty minimal. I have shit that I use. And that's pretty much what I do. I have my own. Might as well throw this up there too. I got my own music selection. This is all my music. Hopefully you can see that. Let me try to get a little bit closer. Hopefully you can read that. Usually the videos come across better after they're done than what I can see in the monitor. So these are my songs. And believe me, this is years and years of compilations. I'm very proud of this collection I have because it's all suited to me. I don't give a shit about if anybody else likes it or not. This is stuff that I like, stuff that brings back memories, stuff that I can play, and it puts a smile on my face. I'll scroll down. You can pause the monitor if you want to look real closer, but it you can, if you look at it, you can get an idea of what kind of music that I like. And I don't, you can tell I'm not into the fucking hip hop and rap and shit. Hate that shit. Hip hop, goddamn, it's cringe, makes me cringe, man. It makes me like, it's like putting my fingers down a chalkboard with that auto voice bullshit where everything sounds the same. Shit, a guy pulls up next to me with the hip hop shit, and I want to yell at the window saying, "Turn that shit off, you motherfucker!" I just hate it. I just hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. And that's the direction we're going. It's like, what the fuck happened to music? But anyway, this selection I got, this is real music right here. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Maybe it's just my generation, but I'll play this right here just for a second. I don't think this is copyrighted. That's happy music. Okay, that was just kind of like a sample. See if YouTube flags me for that shit. I don't think that one's copyrighted, but fucking YouTube and their policies, man. You think all these guys right here, like all these artists, you think that they would enjoy people playing their shit on YouTube because they're getting free advertisement and they're getting people to listen to a song that they might not have listened to for years. They might go, "God damn, that was a great song." So anyway, I played that one. We'll see if I get flagged. Hopefully not. Anyway, next item on the list after the monitor. If you don't have this monitor, get that sumbitch. It's a good one. Let me go down to my keyboard. I have to touch on the keyboard for a minute. I've had it for a while. It's a Ducky 1-2. It has black key switches on it, which I chose. A lot of people don't know when you buy a keyboard, you can buy the same keyboard and it comes with all kinds of different switches on it. It might come with greens, blues, cherries, cherry red, browns, whites. They all have a different feel to them. They all have a different pressure sensor, and they're either tactile or linear. A tactile means they have a bump in the middle where that's where they register, and then the linear is just pushed straight down. You don't feel the bump. The blacks are linear. That's what I prefer. Some guys that really type good, they're good with the switches, with the tactile switches, because they just float along the keys, man. I get a enjoyment out of watching people who can really type good, man, and just that makes the computer sing. See, I can't do that. I'm a conventional typer. I used to type 50 words a minute. I can't do that anymore. My age caught up with me, but I'm a heavy-handed typer. I've always been. I bottom out every key. I fly right past the bump, so they don't do me any good. But the pressure and the feel, the blacks probably have the most pressure of all the switches, which I like, because it just fits my fingers better. It's like I make less mistakes on it. It's more forgiving to me. I like the sound of it, so I chose it. So anyone, don't listen to people that are on the internet that'll tell you this is absolutely the best keyboard, get it, because there's no such thing. It's what's appropriate for your feel and what you like. So whenever you buy a keyboard, pay attention that there's different key switches for that same keyboard. A lot of people don't know that. I bet there's many people out there that have keyboards that have no idea what kind of key switch is actually in it. So do some research and you pick out a keyboard, and you'll be surprised by how much enjoyment you'll get out of picking one that has a key feel that you really like. Okay, let me go over to this. Let me back up and let me go over to my baby right there. And of course, a lot of people are going to say, what the fuck is that thing? Well, that's my thing. That's a computer, open air computer I built over 10 years ago. Still going strong, still love it. I'm one of those guys that likes to see the inside of my computer more than the outside. I like playing alongside it and just seeing what the parts are actually doing that I paid my hard-earned bucks for. I just get a kick out of it. I'm one of those guys that could sit in a radio shack store and look at circuits all day. I just enjoy that kind of stuff. So this is a work of art to me. I built this thing myself. If you look at the way it's designed, the motherboard, it has the same rubber mounts that a standard case has in the same positions. And it's got the little bumps that come up through certain keys, certain stays that keeps the keyboard from moving around. So the keyboard just sits down on there. It doesn't bolt down, it just sits down there under its own weight. It's not going anywhere. It's on rubber. Look at all the weight you got on that thing. It's not moving. So when you need to work on it, it's a lot easier because you can just unhook everything and just let the keyboard straight up, or the motherboard, and work on stuff, take your heatsink off, do all your stuff. So let's go to the top first and then I'll work to the bottom. Let's go to right there. That's my Sound Blaster Z sound card. I've always been a sound card guy. From my 20 plus years of experience, I've been on computers since Windows 3.1, so I go back a ways. I've always been a keyboard guy. I've always been a sound card guy. I don't know why, just started out that way. And you can have debates about onboard sound versus sound cards till the cows come home, and you won't come to any conclusions. It's just because it's just all subjective and it's opinions, and you'll never get an agreement. Some people swear on sound cards, some people think they're worthless, and then some people swear on onboard sound. I'm just a guy that likes sound cards. I like the sound they produce. They produce a fuller sound to me. Maybe it's just me, but I've had good luck with them, so I've stuck with it. Basically, it's the only component I have in my computer other than my video card. Speaking of video cards, let me get an up closer view. This is a EVGA 1070. See if I can get as close as I can to it. Right there. Paid $350 for that thing about 10 years ago. Seems like 10 years ago. I don't know how long it's been actually. But it's probably double that price now if you try to find one now. Computer prices are totally ridiculous right now. You look on for video cards on Amazon or eBay, and you're talking $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, $2,000. It's just totally fucking ridiculous. The miners just took all the stock, and Nvidia can't keep up. They don't seem to care one way or another, to be honest with you. They seem to have the attitude, fuck it. let these guys pay $2,000 for a video card that really should cost $400, and we'll just make more money. And that just bums the crap out of me, because we're at the place right now where people are trying to build systems, and unless you've got bucks to spare, unless you're one of those guys who just don't give a shit, your wallet's bulging cash, and you don't care how much money you spend, then you're kind of in a quandary right there. So man, I wouldn't get rid of that damn sound card, that video card for nothing. And one of the reasons why, it's got 8 gigs of RAM in it, and it plays everything that all those videos that you saw that I have, all those games, it plays them all flawlessly. I bumped up from 1920 to 2560, and it didn't even burp. The video card didn't even burp, and it just took them, played the games just like they were. I didn't have to change settings or nothing. I was just amazed. And when the lag and tearing was gone and the smoothness was there and it's just gorgeous visuals I was getting, I was just going, oh man, happy days. I'm just one happy camper. This thing is going to stay in my computer for a while, because why would I get rid of it? I don't need ray tracing. I have no interest in it. You know, I'm 2 generations behind now. They got the 2000s, and then they got the 3000s, and they're getting ready to come out with another one. So I'm getting old, but shit, it still plays the games, and it still plays them at the res of my monitor. So I'm like going, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna keep that damn thing. And probably part of what helps me is, if you look over here at the top here, you'll see this big old heatsink. I can't even remember what heatsink that is. It's either a Noctua or a Thermaltake or a Thermalright. Pretty big. It's got 2 Noctua fans on it, push-pull. Let me get up a little bit closer. You can see that thing is huge. It's got 2 8-gig sticks of Corsair RAM in there for 16 gigs. You can see my this fan right here, right there, came with the kit. It blows up and down. It's a big old ass fan, blows across the hard drives. And I have my fans set in the BIOS, and they'll ramp up if they need to, but they start out at about 700 RPM, so that's about where I have them set normal. And that's the RPM. Listen. What do you hear? You hear pure ass enjoyment. And if you look at the video card, it don't spin up unless it needs to. As soon as it gets hot enough and plays games, and it'll spin up, and it's quiet too. Very seldom, you know, sometimes I get into some intensive games, and where it's stressing it, and I'm playing it for a while, and I know the fans are spinning up. You know, the fans on the motherboard, on the CPU will speed up, and the fans on the video card will speed up, but I don't even notice it. Shit, I'm playing the games, because it never gets to the point where it's just in danger zone of any kind. You know, I guess it's because it's open air, and because I have such good cooling, that this thing is just kicking my butt. Water cooling, forget it. I wouldn't put water near my computer no matter what. I'm one of those guys. It's just water and computer don't mix. It's just the way I am. I'll never go water. Air is the way to go. And underneath that heatsink is a i7 9700KF. F is the one without the onboard graphics, which I didn't need anyway. So that's the one I got. So with the combination of that CPU and that video card, it kicks butt. It's got plenty of power. You know, I got enough memory. It just does everything I need it to do. Working down, if you look at my hard drive, you're going to see something funny right there. If you look at these racks, there's 4 of these racks spread out through the video card. and they're meant to hold the hard drives. So the hard drives normally will slide in those racks. If you can see over here, you'll see the racks going all the way across. But I had a little problem when I did that. For some reason, the hard drives just didn't like it being up there. They produced a resonance, a sound that's hard to explain that I couldn't get rid of. And I tried rubber strips, I tried foam, I tried to isolate it, and I couldn't get rid of the resonance. And it just bugged the crap out of me. I'm right next to the computer. The computer's ear level, it's not on the ground, so it really has to be super quiet. And I could hear that sound under the quiet moments. It just kept bugging the crap out of me, and I struggled to figure out what the hell I was going to do about it. So my solution was I took them out. See if I can get a little bit closer. I took string and I put string around the two racks. Actually, there's 4 racks. I put two strings around the first 2 racks and 2 strings around the second 2 racks. And then I just slid the hard drives in there. So if you can see right here, you can see my finger. You can see they just float. They're just hanging. They're just hanging there on the strings. And on the back of that, that is a Western Digital 2 terabyte black, and right alongside it is a 4 gigabyte Western Digital black. And then if you look over towards the back right here, right there, it's an external drive with its own power source. I can turn it off and on whenever I want. It's a 2 gig Western Digital black. And then I got up here in the rack, I have about 120 gigabyte SSD for the operating system. So I got this thing set up just the way I want it to be. If you look down again here, you'll see I got a Rosewill 750 watt Photon power supply. It's got real good reviews. That's why I bought it. It was pretty cheap, and it supplies plenty of power. Not had a glitch out of it. Nice and quiet. This system doesn't pull 750 watts, not even close. So I got plenty of headroom to spare there. You can see I got 2 DVDs, which I don't even use. I don't even know why I still keep them. I guess just nostalgia. I might need it if I have a DVD that I need to pull some information from. But back in the day, I used them a lot. Back in the day of when Blockbuster still was open. Any of you old timers remember that? We used to go and rent the videos, rent the DVDs, take them home, go look on the forums, find out which was the latest software that people were just making on their own that could crack the copy protection. So it was always a battle between the companies and the guys who were cracking it, and that goes on to this day. And programs like Rip It For Me, DVD Decryptor, DVD Clone, the one with the monkey on it, made in China, still being made, DVD Fab. They do that. They take the copy protection out where you can burn it to a DVD, play it on your computer. Back in the day, we didn't have them hooked up to TVs. We just played them on the computer. At least I did. And that's the way we did it. The other way I did it was download music off torrents, which I didn't need to crack nothing because everything's cracked already. You just burn it to a DVD and play it. So that's the way we used to do it back in the day. And that's when I used to buy big old racks of DVDs because I went through quite a few of them. I went through so many of them that a lot of times I had both of those DVDs in operation at the same time. But those days are long gone. Don't do that anymore, don't need to, so they're just sitting there. I don't want to take them out because they're just part of my system. If you look up right here, right. Where are you, baby? Right there. Hopefully you can see that good. This right here. This is a little one-piece unit that all these wires plug in. And all these wires, there's your horn. All this, the horn comes with the kit. All these wires are your off on, your reset, your hard drive activity light, your on switch, your on light. And all the lights come with the kit, and they just sit right on, they just plug straight down. I didn't like those because you had to hold your finger on the bottom of this deal right here and press down on the switch. And I kept, with my hands, I had tremors in my hands, so I was always afraid I was going to break something. So I got rid of that. So what I did is I went ahead and just bought a switch. You can see the switch right there. It just does all the stuff that all the connections to a case would do. You can see my hard drive activity and off and on switch, reset switch, all that stuff. So I just put it down there. It looks nice. Does everything I need it to. I don't have to mess with none of this stuff up here. I don't have to worry about bending anything. So that's my system. The changes I made to the top was I used to have an i5 8600, and I had it on a Asus Prime 370A, and while it did good in games, it was weak in other areas like encoding and zipping files, stuff like that. So I upgraded to the i7 9700, and even though that motherboard would still support it, they recommended going up to the Asus Prime Z390A. So that's what I did. It was kind of a small upgrade, and it wasn't problem free for me. I put it in there, and with 2 sticks of RAM, and it wouldn't boot up. And I went, oh, this is crap. This is what I need. So I took 1 stick out, booted up fine. Come to find out, after doing some testing, I had 4 sticks of RAM, and I knew they were all good. So I would try the slots. And I would try, I'm just going to count the slots from 1 to 4 from the heatsink out. So the first DIMM, any stick of RAM put in there, it would boot. Second DIMM, any stick of RAM I put in there would boot. When I got to 3 and 4 is where the problems began. No matter if I had sticks already in 1 and 2, or if I didn't have anything in them and just tried a single stick, it wouldn't boot. Even if that same stick of RAM booted in 2, it wouldn't boot in 3, or it wouldn't boot in 4. So I knew I had a DIMM problem. So I got a replacement motherboard. And the problem was this vendor that I bought from Amazon required me to send the motherboard back before they were going to refund me. So I'm going, shit. I'm either going to have to go without a computer for 3 weeks, or I'm just going to have to shell out the bucks and buy another one and get it running, and then send the other one back after that. So that's what I did. I bought another one. Luckily it was a good one. Put the RAM in where it was supposed to go, booted right up. It's been running like a dream, no glitches. So it was clearly a bad motherboard. So I then packed up the old motherboard, sent it back. Took about a week. They got it back and they refunded me. So I got all my money back. The process just took a minute. So it was either wait 3 weeks with no computer, or shell out some extra bucks and buy another one and wait, and then send the other one back. So sometimes you get in that kind of a situation with stuff you buy on Amazon. Sometimes Amazon stuff has a better return policy where you just take it down to the UPS, they scan it. As soon as it's scanned, your credit card is immediately credited. You can buy another one right then on the spot. But this one wasn't like that. They had to physically receive it before they would refund me. So that's the situation I was in. So that's what I did, and I got it going good. I don't need. Let me see if I can show one more thing down here. I'll go to this PC. Let me go to my screen again. You can see my stuff. Get a little closer. You can see my stuff there. You can see C drive. I still got plenty, so where I put my programs. My D drive is the 2 terabyte. Still got plenty of room. My E drive is my 4 terabyte. I got plenty of room, and then I got my external down there that I have turned on. And I still got plenty of room on it, so you can see I got room for days. I don't got to worry about, you know, unloading games or taking shit out. I'm good for the foreseeable future. So I think I've covered everything on this thing. I love the system. It may look unorthodox to people, and it may just look plain ugly to some, but it's beautiful to me. And that's what counts. I enjoy being next to it and playing, and the computer just rocks. So I think I've covered everything that I can think of. So see you guys later. I also like to mention here for a minute on overclocking. I hadn't touched on that. You can see the system I got, that I got plenty of headroom for overclocking with that 9700K and the video card. Well, right now I'm running stock. I don't overclock. And I'll tell you the reason why. I'll tell you the story behind that. I tried overclocking. I have plenty, like I said, plenty of headroom, plenty of cooling. Hit 5 gigs with no problems at all. Overclocked the video card, played games, and here's what I noticed when I played my games. I noticed nothing. I didn't have any graphs because I don't use graphs. I used to use graphs and got so much interested in the numbers that I lost track of the game. So I don't use them. I know when a game plays good. I know when it doesn't. I know when it lags. I know when it tears. I know the refresh rate. I know the frames per second within a few frames per second of each game because I can just feel it. After you play enough games, you get to know. You get to know when you have to make adjustments, when you don't, when it plays good, when it doesn't. So I just gave up on the numbers and just enjoy the games. So anyway, just for the hell of it, I said, well, you know what? I got all this headroom. I'm going to try overclocking. So I went to 5 gig, overclocked the video card, played without any graphs or anything to tell me anything, and I didn't notice anything. I played the games. I kept it on there for a couple weeks because I'm kind of bragging to myself. Yeah, look at that sumbitch. I got that sucker up to 5 gig, man. Overclocking sumbitch. And then I started thinking, God damn, dude, you're not noticing anything. Everything's still the same. The only thing you're noticing is the out of sight temps and power draw. I was drawing twice the power. It was running twice as hot, even though it never, went too hot because my cooling's so good. But that's the only thing I noticed. More power, more heat, and no performance increase. Now, if I would have had graphs hooked up, I would have definitely seen increases in frames per second, but it wasn't anything that I could notice. So I finally came to the point, what am I doing this for? Why am I running it so hot? Why am I stressing it? Why am I cutting down the life of this thing when I can just go back down to stock because I already know how it ran? So that's what I did. I went back to stock and I haven't touched it since. And I'm perfectly happy. It throws everything at me I throw everything at it. It throws it right back at me with a smile on its face saying, what else you got? So anyway, that's my take on overclocking. Some people think they won't even buy a system unless they overclock it. Not me. If I don't need to overclock, I won't overclock. I mean, what's the point? If the game runs fine, the shit's already so strong. I just don't see the point in stressing the system and running when I can run it so cool without it. So anyway, that's just my little addition to the overclocking thing on my system.